a lot of what we're coming up against is your traditional the traditional way of doing things. There is the advertising agencies, which are put on retainer by these companies. And most of these other people are linked with the sales managers of these. It can be your publication, it can be your radio station. There's already those relationships. But the money doesn't come.
It doesn't trickle down
to the presenters, the people who actually do the job. It's them niggas in the sales and marketing offices. And those are the ones that we're coming for. Okay, I'm done. You get on the radio. Why didn't you last that long at Yarn FM?
I was fired.
Okay, listen. Let's new?
Get it out there.
All right.
I feel like every great radio person has been fired. At least twice.
No, at least twice.
At least.
How did it go? Okay, which shows did they give you when you first initially got on?
So I didn't make it far at all.
I know.
I went in and out because I didn't make it far because some people don't even remember I was there. Some of the most difficult things about being on radio, get content. Like, okay, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? And he'll tell you what a dog. Content mo kombing. Sit in the kombi.
Pocket notebook.
That is your content, you know? You're buying some that like literally your everyday experiences are your content. You don't need to come with 5 facts about
God.
know 5 ways to you don't need to, you know.
I'm still gonna ask you for your top 5 though.
People of different identities. Podcast with BSCAR.
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome to another edition of the PODI-CAST with your boy SCAR. And man, the great homies from Local Corner. Shout out to Bartender, shout out to Renevieve, our amazing makeup artist, and of course, where we come at you every single week from the Staywell Hotels right here in Mogadishu, okay? And that's, I think I pause. We're here because but anyhow, visit the Staywell Hotels. It's right here in Mogadishu. Affordable, beautiful rooms. And today, our guest is someone who I consider a little sister. I've known her forever and ever, but I haven't seen her in about 6 or so years, man. So this is personal as much as it's for y'all as well. So in the house today, someone who's been on radio, been a dancer. I mean, she'll tell it all because she's in the house today. Petula El-Kindiy. Hi, mama.
I'm still clapping. I almost left you hanging on your own show. Can you imagine?
No, I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy.
And you didn't even give us like any headache. I mean, when I hit you up, it was more like, yo, let me check out my schedule. You hit me up immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
So what you been up to? Like, where are you hiding yourself? What's going on?
Well, right now, so
okay, so
I'm hiding at home, quite literally.
Congratulations, mama.
Thank you.
Baby boy, baby girl?
Baby girl.
Oh, my
goodness. This is our second. Yeah, and she's just crazy. A few months old.
So how teach me, how do you keep this stuff secret?
I know, right? Just don't post it.
Don't post it. Huh?
That's literally it. Like nowadays, if you post anything, everyone knows about it. So hella house a posty.
Definitely, man. I'm so happy you're in the house. I mean, the last that I had, checked you out because on the socials, the stuff that you do decide to put out is when you were on radio on South Africa, and that's pretty much one of those reasons because that was really reasons we got you here as well because I'm really proud of how your broadcast journey. Turned around,
right?
From people not really feeling you out here,
right?
From my point of view, and
it was like, "What's going? I'm so good, guys. What's going on?"
And then you go out there, and then people really finally do appreciate you. But I'm gonna start it all the way from the beginning. Okay, all right. You were born in Jwaneng and raised in Silibi Pikwe.
Oh wow,
mining town.
How do you know all of this?
I mean, in 1988.
Oh my God, you even know the year?
We are out here. Oh okay. My God. So I'm trying to figure this out. A lot of mining town kids that we've had on the show, are special. What is it about Jwaneng and Bosilibe Pique? I mean, how long did you even stay there?
So in Pique, Jwaneng, I don't remember much because I was just born there. And then by the time I was a few months old, we moved.
Okay.
Yeah, we moved to Pique because there was working opportunities there for my mom.
Okay.
She was working for the U.S. Embassy at the time, and there was a VOA office, Voice of America.
Yeah, we all grew up on VOA.
We all grew up on VOA, right?
Yeah.
So
what was
went
that
there.
about?
I don't know. Why?
Why tell us about the States all the way here?
All the time.
Yeah.
So she worked there, and then Pique was a really small town. There were no traffic lights. When Gabz had traffic light, we didn't have traffic lights.
Yeah.
It was really small. Everyone knew each other. So I don't know. There's just something about an intimate town that's just makes people kind of, I don't know, excel. I feel like.
No doubt.
I feel like. Because all the creatives that I know that I look up to, like O'Neill, like Boni, they're all Pique kids as well.
Kids,
So
that's crazy.
there was something in the water.
It was in the smoke.
It was in the sulfur.
It was in the sulfur. It was in the sulfur.
Because Honka sulfur all the time in that.
I know some niggas who come through the Gabz and are like, what is that? Again, it's air, nigga. So,
it's fresh air.
So your childhood, and then you moved to Gabz.
Moved to Gabz.
How old were you when you guys finally came through to the city?
I was 10 maybe, or maybe a little bit younger. But yeah, I came here for primary school.
Yeah.
Went to Rainbow. And it was just such a huge adjustment because Gaborone was wow.
Yeah.
It was a city.
Yeah.
So.
Proper
things.
Yeah.
Definitely bigger than Pique.
Yeah,
Pique it's like a ghost town now, Shem.
I know. I mean, the houses, even the big houses, I visited, and it's like a whole exodus of people.
So sad how
4-bedroom houses, people 1.5.
Empty,
Yeah,
right?
but one needs to do rent this above. But you are the youngest of how many siblings?
3.
Three
so there's
siblings.
4 of us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm the youngest.
And then these are not your average people. I mean, your bros and your sis were pretty popular in town.
They were. If you were a Gaborone person, you knew my siblings.
Because also your names all start with P.
Yes.
Pierce.
So it's Patra, Patris, Pierce, and
Petula. What? Big up to your folks, man.
Big up to my...
So, how did these other 3 become so popular in town when they didn't even have a craft?
I know! I had to go dance for ska. I had to rap. I had to sing. And Bonne, they just existed. I don't know. I don't know why.
No.
I don't know why. I think it's because they were like ladies, guys.
Daddies.
And they were cute, still are. Shout out to my brothers.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're still very handsome. My
No
sister's still gorgeous.
Yeah,
so, I think it's because we kind of, the P thing.
Hey.
It was the P thing, and
People just were like, wow. What is going over there?
Petra.
Let's go check it out.
What's happening?
So it wasn't overwhelming for you? Did that make you excel more, do you think? Or because you had siblings that, in their own right, they're very confident.
Yeah.
They're also out there, very intelligent people also.
Exactly.
Do you think that also played a factor in how you were able to explore so many things at such a young age?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so because I wanted to be my own person. I was so tired of being Pierce's little sister. Everyone from that generation, maybe the younger generation, from y'all's generation, Elite Pierce, and I was just the little sister. So I was like, no, man.
Yeah.
I need to have my own thing going, do my own thing. And I think that's when I started, playing around with singing, with rapping, with performing, so that I could stand out, because like you say, they were very... busy bodies. Exactly.
People all knew about them. I want to get into how then in 2002, you and your friends decided to join My African Dream. Now, My African Dream, for some of us, what the hell are they trying to do over there? These kids are going to win and go away.
What's going to happen?
How old were you when you jumped into it? Though?
We were 12. Yeah. So 2002, I was in Form 2, 12, 13. And at the time, it was before it became My African Dream. It was KTV.
Oh, it was the KTV. The Eskimos actually got into that one too.
That's how I know Eskimos. Yeah, that's how I know Eskimos as well. That's where we met. So... at the time, I think it was what was the
it was DSTV.
It was DSTV.
KTV.
Mnet.
It was Mnet. Yeah.
So Mnet had put together a KTV talent show, and they got together with the Grandpa, and they would go to different schools in the city and be like, "Yo, guys, there's this talent show, and you're gonna be on TV, and we didn't even need money." We didn't need money. Yeah. They weren't offering like big cash prizes, but the fact that it's KTV, it's Mnet. I mean, at the time, KTV still had like a big following. Because that's all we were watching at the time. I think Babi Moloi was still a presenter. Yeah. I don't know if you remember Babi Moloi.
I remember. Who doesn't remember Babi Moloi?
I mean, really. Like, really. I know.
If my girl wasn't on the set.
You tell the truth about how you feel. About how you feel about Babi.
About Babi Moloi. And then she grew up to become this amazing,
exactly.
Amazing
and now she's
The team is laughing at me. So then they weren't offering you guys money?
They weren't. They were just offering like just small cash prizes and gifts and stuff like that. So we decided, okay, we're going to enter. And at the time, it was like four of us, four of my friends from school. Yeah, you just ask around mo klaseng gore guys kana gona le ke mang o batlang go dira, So we all decided, okay, we do it. And lucky for us, one of my closest friends, a babe called Maggie, whom you know, her older sister used to be a dancer. She used to dance for Tribal Monks?
Yes, Lebo.
Lebo used to dance as well. She was an amazing dancer. She used to dance with Buluan. And we were lucky because we were like, okay, we have like a proper choreographer who could teach us how to dance.
For those who don't know, Lebo and Luan, I mean, they danced for Third Mind.
They did. They did.
On the Tribal Monks, I mean, they were very close with a lot of the people who were leaders of urban youth music at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So these now, Maggie's sister is in there. So now you guys have someone you can actually teach.
We have an in.
Yeah.
We have an in. And by the way, Lebo at the time was married to like Skizo. And Ski. Exactly. Yeah. And if you I'm in, you know what I mean? Because he's a music giant as well. So it was like seamless. It was like, guys, okay, let's go to Lebo's house every day after school, and then we practice and we get it together. Yeah. And that's kind of how I met you afterwards.
And then when I met you guys, it was crazy. I went on to Mokaragana when Mokaragana was still cool.
It's still
We went on Mokaragana with you. It was Maggie, who it was also Metla,
and
else
and Gala.
And Gala,
yeah.
And Gala Kana is best friend with Boiti.
Yes.
And I've been saying some dumb shit about Boiti online.
Gala will come at you.
She's going to beat me.
She will beat you.
So you guys, eventually we link up. I'm trying to, from your point of view, how did you guys end up performing with me? Performing my people, Lily. Get up on Mokaragana with you guys. And you guys were still underage.
Yes, we were still in school. At the house I was 12, 13.
So before people think that I was out here soliciting youngsters, how did the hookup with Scar happen and you guys ended up
so we did My African Dream and we killed it. Like I'll tell you now, pull up the tapes.
Come on.
You know, like we murked it. We had
that level touch.
We had definitely. She was like, yo, you need to look seamless. So we killed the My African Dream performance. Yeah. And then we used to hang out at the studio. Yeah. So if you've been to Lebo's house, the back of their house was like a recording studio. Yeah. Skizo had his studio back there. So we would hang out all the time. Yeah. Guys like you would walk in and out, Zeus would walk in and out. Like we were meeting, Staga would walk in and out. Yeah. Like as youngsters, as high school people, we were seeing all these rappers that were like hot. Yeah. I mean, Staga had just dropped.
But it gets crazy.
It gets crazy.
He was in a coupe.
I mean, with a helicopter in the video.
Come on, man. Shut down Nelson Mandela Bridge.
Hello. So these are guys that we would we were chilling. Yeah. Playing around in the yard, and these are guys that were walking in and out of the studio all the time. Yeah. So it was one of those times where you were in and out of the studio, and you were about to perform, and you needed some help with your performance.
Definitely.
And I think you were with Presley.
Yeah.
And Lebo said to you, yo, I know these little girls.
Yeah.
They're these little girls. We were like, what? You know, I mean, Illegal Act had just dropped.
Yeah.
My People had just dropped, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was like a hot time.
Definitely.
You know, it was definitely a hot time. So we auditioned for you guys. I don't know if you remember.
Hey.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But we auditioned. Yeah, so, you know, that day we were told, okay, come to the house.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are going to audition for Scar and Presley. Yeah. And we were like, oh, my God, Scar.
No, I used to be the shit.
You still are, my
thank
nigga.
you, Mama.
You still are, my nigga. Don't let them tell you anything.
Yeah. So we eventually did the show, and it was...
We did the show!
It's one of the reasons that I actually started getting gigs outside of Gaborone, because now we were nationally seen. I mean...
Mukaragana is everywhere,
Mukaragana was
BTV,
everywhere.
Yeah.
And then that's when people started poaching you guys from me.
Yes! They tried.
Mampizi was one of them.
He did, but we did one show with V.
Cast was one of them.
We did one show with Cast.
Who else did you guys cheat on me with? Because kana ke bonela go simolla go tharabologa kana majita business business. Even right now, it happens today. You'll see someone working with someone, and then
you're like, yo, actually, you know.
But I was happy because this was like a forward movement for you guys, because you were really, really young as well.
Was.
So who else did you guys get to start working with, though?
So we went on tour with you. Yeah. So after Mukaragana, it kind of, like you said, it got crazy from there, right?
Yeah.
So then you started getting booked out of town, and we would come along with you. Yeah. But then you'd have V and Cast with you as well. Yeah. And V and Cast wouldn't have dancers, you know? So now imagine and, you know, Scar comes on with dancers, killing it, you know, we're breaking it down,
come on,
you know? And then when I Kesti, you come here like I'm making an only one.
Because he thought he could dance.
He could, though. He can.
He can dance, but like, you can't do this the whole set.
The whole thing.
You know what I'm saying?
And he can dance as well, you know? But their sets were kind of empty.
Yes.
So Lebo was like, you know, guys, let's do something with them as well while we're on tour, so that, you know, it doesn't look so bad after Scar gets off. So we were like, okay, cool, we'll do that. But one of the shows, though, was, what's that guy called? He was a British rapper.
Oh, Black Twang.
Yeah,
rotten, so rotten.
Yeah, why is it so rotten?
But people, have you forgotten?
Why is it so... I love that song. Anyway.
So and he supports Arsenal, so shout out yourself, Black Twang. Yeah,
so
man.
Black Twang wanted to poach us as well, but we refused. We were like, no, we're loyal to Scott. So we were loyal. We didn't cheat on you all the time. Yeah, we only cheated on you with V and Cass.
At least they're my brothers, so at least it was okay. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to get back to your name. You know, these tours. I mean, most of these people were male artists.
Yeah.
What were the pros and cons of you know, working with males?
Yeah, and funny enough, I was mentioning before we started recording that you know, it was all work, all focus. Yeah. Like, we were young girls, you know, we could have easily crushed on any of y'all. Yeah. Maybe we did. I'm just saying, maybe.
You weren't vocal.
You know, but like, it was so professional, so work focused. Yeah. No manga, you know, because like you say, being young girls, being impressionable, working with these hot rappers, you know, it could have gone anyway, but it didn't. Like, it was always work, always focused, and I love you guys for that.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys for that.
You know, you guys had good heads on your shoulders. Right now,
and Lebo was there too.
And Lebo would have smacked us.
She would have killed you.
No way. I want to get into but right now we're seeing. Posibina always talks about it a lot of the time when guys put up like adverts on social media and say this is a gig. 90% is just niggas.
It's guys.
So has anything changed? If you compare to back then, the leading artists were mostly men.
Yeah.
now you're older.
Yeah.
You know, you got your broadcasting hat on also.
Yeah.
What has anything really changed? And why do you think? Why do you think it's still the same?
I don't. You know, it hasn't changed. Lineups are still very male dominated, but I do love, like you say, that Mposibina and Samantha Mohwe.
She calls it out.
She does. I've seen it on her Facebook, and I love that she does that because you know it needs to be called out sometimes.
Yeah.
But what I love is that they do their own shows now.
Yeah, no,
they're like, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
You know, then I'll do my own show. So as much as it hasn't changed much, it's heading in the right direction of a lot of female artists realizing that, you know, I can put myself on. I don't have to wait for some promoter to call me.
Yeah.
I can do it myself.
Definitely.
And I don't know why it's like that. Like, I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. You know, because I don't know how I got away with touring with you, because my mom was so strict.
Yeah.
You know?
But maybe we got away with it because your bros knew me.
That too.
You know, maybe I don't know much about it. I was just always like this, and I think maybe we were on our A game also, because you guys were so young as well, and we have little sisters. So I think you're on a Kanya thing. But still speaking on that though, you've never had niggas step up to you sideways. Let's say in a studio, sideways meaning sexual advances for work. Because I have this other story where someone told me, I won't mention that name. They were in a studio, and this nigga whipped out his schlong. She was facing another direction.
Whipped it out.
Just shing, got a sword.
What?
So no, graphic imagination. So what? She's facing that way, and then in the studio, Patsy, he's got it out. She can't get out. It's dark. They're in the studio alone. But laugh about it now because she was able to get out of that situation.
To get away. But imagine how many times.
And I know.
Yeah, I've definitely been in those situations. But what I will say is it's not restricted to our industry. So I've been in the corporate world as well. Like I stepped away from radio for a while because, you know, your parents will always tell you, hey, you know, I don't know why our parents love dibanka.
They want like some sort of, I guess, structure.
A formal thing, you know, and I get it. I get it because sometimes the creative industry, it doesn't pay so well. Yeah. And isn't so consistent, right?
Not time.
Yeah. So... like you'll find it everywhere. Even in a corporate setting, boss will make advances to you and make it uncomfortable. So it's really just unfortunate and very sad that us as ladies have to encounter that.
I've always
as often as we do. So I have encountered it in the radio industry, in the sales industry, in the marketing industry, because I'm sales and marketing person by profession. Yeah. So it was tiring.
What do you do?
And you have to learn how to maneuver with a smile, because have you seen where you have to like turn down a person politely? Because one, you don't want to get fired. You know, so you're thinking about your job. So you have to.
Kind of Petula, that's what really gets to me. Yeah, that's what really gets to me. It's like,
say,
how do you do
fuck
it?
Off. What the fuck are you doing? You know? And imagine tomorrow
the one who can fire you.
He's gonna fire you the moment you say that. You know, so you have to like politely shrug it off. So it's unfortunate, like I say, but it's definitely something that you encounter. You just learn along the way to maneuver. And I know that gents experience it too, though.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It's not exclusive to
women.
To just us Basadi, as much as I think maybe the numbers may be different.
Yeah. Way different.
Yeah, it happens to the guys.
But
too.
how does that not kill your spirit? I mean, you still have the hunger for more. Clearly, you know what I mean. You keep, breaking glass ceilings as far as like broadcasting is concerned, especially when it comes to women. Yeah, how does that not tire you? I mean,
I leave. I leave. No, really, I do. Yeah. Like, I feel an uncomfortable situation. I start looking for another job.
Out,
I start immediately. I'm just like, okay, you know what? You know, onna hela a go batla a go tshwenya and uncomfortable mo officing. So I always just silently start looking for another job. And then I'm just like, okay, but how many jobs do I have to move to? You know what I mean?
It just feels so unfair.
It's just, people need to be professional.
I've talked to Sasa Class, rest in peace, about the same issue as well. You know, there were
and
times,
she's a bombshell.
And that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
Also, but that's what I'm saying. For pretty girls, does that mean and I understand because so how then do you keep a passion for what you love while it's consistently being made difficult for you? Because I'm sure there's young people who are also watching this who are at what's end when it comes to this thing. It's
tired.
Like I'd rather stay home
and
then get out. How do you fully charge yourself? How do you keep injecting yourself with passion every morning? Because this is probably an everyday thing out there.
I don't even know because it is tiring. I do, but I won't say that's the only thing that I do. I just keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize as much as you can, as frustrating as it is, as irritating as it is. Because as a babe, hey, I don't think you guys understand how pagama kombi there's a guy. How hologa kombi mutukyo mogwena. Like you say, how dumedisa. There's 20 other niggas that have asked for my number, harassed me. Ke hitile ko stationing ba nthogile ebile because ke ganne go dumedisa or ke ganne go, you know what I mean? It's just
exhausting.
So you kind of just like, oh, okay. Like I know I'm not the only one that will, like, I always dress a certain way depending on where I'm going. So like you have to do little things like that as a babe just to maneuver more life thing. Like, okay, today gas stationing, let me not wear the tight bodycon. And first of all, you shouldn't have to worry about what you wear as a babe. But I find myself like unconsciously policing myself. Okay, maybe then maybe I won't get as much. So by the time you get to the office, you've had a lifetime of people just bombarding you with, hey baby.
Hey baby.
Say baby.
Hey. So I
don't know how we do it as women. We need like a gift every month for
guys,
oh, well done for getting through this month.
And the homies well. I think we just need to learn how to be nicer to women.
Stop catcalling. One.
Because we don't know how much goes into thinking process that thing. Like you say, you subconsciously have to police yourself because of what someone else might do. And it really shouldn't be like that.
No, it shouldn't.
If we are to say we're living in a fair society.
Exactly.
I'm going to take you to the radio training. I mean, you studied business administration at UBASCO.
How do you know this?
What's up, Millie?
We
got a producer.
Whoa!
So,
like, I'm so impressed.
Did you jump ship or did you finish your BA?
I finished my BA.
Yeah, that'd be jump ship. So the contract guy
that's right.
Because I wasn't gonna do economics. I didn't know what the hell. I pictured a bank.
I
just pictured a bank. I'm like, I can't number crush all my life. I got bars to write, So when you the dancing, how did that transition into now broadcasting? I mean, the rapping I know about. We'll delve into it also, and why you never dropped music by yourself.
I know.
But like, how did the dancing then transition to radio?
Yeah. So I've always liked radio.
Yeah.
Especially the era Maluza.
We've had him here, Loose Boy. Yeah, we've had him on this thing.
Man, actually, yes, you have. You have.
We're wearing all kinds of oranges. That peach.
Hey,
Pakalani
you
mo
know,
podcasting.
you know,
Yeah.
that was the era that I grew up in, where, you know, like Eureka and your speaker with Robbie Rob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You remember that show?
I remember that show.
Double
I
R. We
remember
need to
that
get Double
show.
R here,
Yeah.
fam.
So when Double R and Loose Boy and them were on radio, every morning on my way, after I finished a gig with Scar, we'd switch on the radio, and that's all we'd listen to every morning.
Yeah.
And Giselle was on the radio
Yeah,
as well.
man.
She was like a baby. She
started when she was 16.
16.
Yeah.
So after listening to those people, I was like, man,
yeah, this is it.
I want to do this. Yeah, I really want to do this. And it was always just in the back of my mind. But you know, parents, they'll be like, okay, now you have to fill in, okay, choose 4 subjects. And it's like, law was in there. Can you imagine? So law was at the top, and then marketing was at the bottom. They always give you the one you don't want.
Economics.
You know, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go to school and I'll do what I'm supposed to do, you know?
Yeah.
But all the while, I loved radio.
Yeah.
And my sister knew this. And lucky enough, she knew Owen Rampha,
Hey.
who was the programs manager at the time at YFM. So I was at school. I was already doing my first year of my BA, and my sister was like, yo, I heard. So shout out to my sister, because she kept the dream alive, you know?
Yeah.
So she told me, yo, kutlore they're training ko Yarona FM.
Yeah.
Should I like give Owen a call? Do you want to start training?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, dog. So that day we went into Owen's office. This sounds very privileged. Like I didn't have to apply.
You said it.
I didn't have to apply. You
But,
know, when
okay.
you know nepotism, yeah, bereka too. Yeah, bereka. It hasn't, you know.
No. Just to qualify it though. I mean, sometimes when you have a window, jump in. You know, a lot of us sometimes, I mean, I've stopped myself from getting certain things because I'm thinking, no, this is just a privilege.
Yeah.
And then other people take them, and then you look at yourself.
Yeah, like why didn't I?
That was my window. Sometimes you know, just create the opportunity.
You see what I'm saying?
And then you took it. You went there.
I did.
So Owen runs like the most efficient broadcasting class ever. I told him
the training program.
I told him to open a school.
He needs to.
You know.
Because what he teaches, I can tell that the people in South Africa don't know. You know, I could tell. I was head and shoulders above the rest.
Because you jumped in there also before Rako, you know why go South Africa. You know, you jumped in there and you just swam. You know, so you want to tell us?
And I was like, shit. You mean
this is it?
You mean this is it? This is we can take them.
No.
As Batswana, we can take them.
them.
Yeah, we can though.
But we felt the same way about hip hop when we were winning these channel
right?
awards and stuff.
You guys were scooping them.
Yeah.
I think this is why, just sidebar, Channel O kind of shift, if you've realized. They're not as pan-African as they used to be.
No.
Because you guys were showing them dust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've gone very pro-South African.
Very much so.
Very.
Yeah.
So the music videos, they don't say from all over Africa anymore.
No.
You know?
I don't see Kenya anymore.
No, you don't.
And Kenya used to be like a mainstay also.
You don't even see Botswana that much anymore.
Except from Duduzi's show. You know, big up to Boss
Big
Top
up to
5.
Ndu.
You know, they just shut it down right now.
Yeah.
But like, the training program, what are some of the highlights for you? I mean, Owen, for some people, they think he's just difficult. But like, the reason some of us are even like, it looks easy because Owen taught us how to do it, you know. Do you want to highlight some of the things that, you know, you took with you even when you were out there in SA as well?
The one thing that I really carried with me is, okay, first of all, if you have nothing to say,
play a song.
Let's don't bore us. You know what I mean? I don't need to know some of the things about your life and
jam the song.
Just play the song, my nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I carried that with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I listen to radio, I'm like, oh, the link is so long and you just said nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that it was instilled. You know what I mean? So his training program is top notch.
Yeah.
When I got in there, I was with Paps, Papani. Yeah. I was with Carlos. I was.
Oh, he's back on the radio.
He is back on radio. He
Shut
is.
up, Khalito.
I was with Drew Chad Hall, who's in eventing now.
Barbecue and fam.
You know.
Chill step, what?
Chill step.
Yeah,
so,
man.
you know, he's doing his thing. But I was with a lot of beautiful creatives.
Yeah.
And Owen was just amazing. Like the core of radio and what you're doing radio for, you will learn. And how to find content, you know? Like that's some of the most difficult things about being on radio. Get content. Like, okay, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? And he'll tell you what a dog. Content emo combing. Sit in the combi.
Pocket notebook.
That is your content, you know? You're buying some that, like, literally your everyday experiences are your content. You don't need to come with, so 5 facts about, you
God.
know, five ways to, you don't need to, you know.
I'm still going to ask you for your top 5. I'm still coming to that one.
Yeah, but it was nice.
That's
it was nice
awesome.
to learn.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So you get on the radio. Why didn't you last that long in YFM?
I was fired.
Okay, let's What's
Let's
new?
get it out there.
All right.
I feel like every great radio person has been fired. At least twice.
No, at least twice.
At least.
How did it go? Okay, which shows did they give you when you first initially got on?
So I didn't make it far at all.
I know.
I went in and out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't make it far because some people don't even remember I was there. I was like, shit, it really was like the shortest stint my life. So I was Saturday mornings from like 9 till 12.
Yeah.
And it was called the Saturday Rush.
Hey.
Yeah. Miss B helped me with that name.
Okay.
Shout out Miss B.
The business.
Yeah, she was very good with names. So I just went to her. I was like, okay, I've been given a Saturday show. I need names. She listed like 10,000 names. They were all fantastic.
Yeah.
And I was like, the Saturday Rush. I like that. So 9 to 12. So I thought I was doing a good job. I thought I was killing it.
Was it probation or now you had the
No,
contract?
I had the job. So after probation, I did the training. And after training, they select like a few.
From the training program.
From the training program that make it. And I made it. And I was actually shadowing O'Neill at the time. So he was one of the people that showed me how to use the desk and all of that. And it was pretty cool. So I made it. I got a show. And then I never used to send show prep.
Why? It's in the contract.
I never used to send show prep.
Key.
Yo, you see.
To this day, I can't do a show without prep.
Man, and the thing is, I would do the prep. Like, because he's like, dog, are you just waking up and just walking in the damn studio? I'm like, no, I'm doing prep. Okay, where is it? Can I see it? Because, you know, for those that don't know, before you get on the radio, your manager needs to see what you're gonna say, you know.
He doesn't want to be surprised.
He doesn't want to be surprised. The president, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he needs to know. Okay, got 10 past just a general.
Hey, it's detailed.
Yeah.
At 10:20 at this time.
At 28, quarter to.
And
This is what I'm doing.
All out.
Yeah. What am I gonna be talking about?
Yeah.
So I never used to send it. And he was like, okay, you know what? This is the third time I'm asking you. So I'm so sorry. But we're not gonna renew your contract. At least they let my contract run through. Yeah. So they just didn't renew. And I was like, okay. So I went back. I was like, my mom was right.
Did you feel this was the end of your radio career?
I did. Because I mean, this is Yarona.
And you're a young person. You got fired on a weekend.
I got fired, dog. I got fired. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going back to sales and marketing. And I did. And I'm glad I did because I worked at one of the best fashion lifestyle magazines. I worked at La Poloja. Yeah. What? That's right.
Shout out Shike.
Shout out Shike.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm so glad I got fired because then I went and worked with Tebatso and some of the best creative minds.
Wow, man.
You know, and we were putting together this magazine like every month.
Yeah.
And it would look sensational. And I felt like I was still in the industry because I'd meet a lot of the cover artists. Yeah. And at the time, there was like a CD.
Yeah, the compilation.
The compilation, the mixtapes.
Yeah.
So I'd still meet a lot of musicians and fashionistas, you know.
What people don't understand about La Pologa was that like it was really a culmination of what we wished a TV program would be like about urban youth lifestyle
and entertainment in Botswana,
music.
If you wanted to know what was happening in Gabz and in Botswana at the time in terms of entertainment and lifestyle, La Pologa was where you'd go.
Why do you think it stopped though? Did you ever have a conversation with
you guys weren't buying it. You guys weren't buying it.
And then he completely shut it down. I mean, I still
I would have loved for it to go digital.
Someone was saying that she should put together a podcast. I think a La Pologa podcast would be insane.
I think, Kore, you're 100% right.
With the archives that he has. I mean, he mentioned that he has archives. He's got everything from pictures to videos. You
would not believe. Yeah. And the thing is, he's so passionate about shooting and filming and capturing content. Yeah. So he was just someone so amazing to work for.
Ahead of his time.
So ahead of his time. Yeah. I mean, he's shot a lot of videos for a lot of artists, like a lot of music videos. Yeah, for Zeus, for Staga, for Mposibina. Yeah. You know, for the younger generation like Bo Jordan Muzi.
No doubt.
So, he's still very much involved, and it was such a beautiful time. So I went there, I did sales. I'm done with this radio shit. I should have never done it. I should have never listened to my sister. So I went, and
it became her fault.
Yeah, it did. And I was a kick-ass salesperson. So I walked in there as well as like a sales exec, moved up to deputy, and by the time I left, I was a sales manager for La Pologa. So I was killing it.
I want to get to how you then walk into Gabz FM.
So...
Because they actually had more patience. That's where Lynn Naibiki puts out. Why was YFM FM sleeping on you in the first place? Because when you got there...
I shine.
Yeah, right? And then when you got there, now you are 23, but at the same time you are...
Buzz, how do you know all of this? Where you get Helen King? Shout out to your producer,
Millie Beleme. Yeah, I was with her on buffet breakfast at YFM FM, and before I got fired, Millie. No, she's not here. She's doing other preps.
Damn.
So you were 23.
Shout out Millie, dog.
And you're there talking like you're older. What was the expectation? What did they want from you? And they kept you there longer. So. I want to start from how you walked in the building.
Okay, so...
And what possessed you even to think they would even hire you?
Yeah, right? So, I'm at La Pologa at this time. Yeah. La Pologa is doing well. We're killing it. And then I got poached to a different company called Red Pepper, which is owned by Thapelo Letsholo. Honorable. He's now... So
he's another brilliant mind.
Yeah, definitely. But it didn't work out there either.
What was wrong there? The pay? I've worked for Homie before. Ice 100.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was the brains behind Ice 100. Yeah, a lot of the equipment.
The internet radio, right?
A lot of the equipment.
Y'all were ahead of your time.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah. I'm pretty good at something else. That's why I'm more. But so you walk in the building. Who was there? Who was the programs manager at the time?
At the time, so Pops called me.
Piggity Pops.
Piggity Pops was at Gabz FM. He was doing a nighttime show there. Yeah, they had and I mean, have you heard Pops? Yeah. Like he's got the silkiest.
And the Kalanga Connect. I mean, I think you would want someone who is who loves his culture that much also to get you that audience as well. Who are these programs managers
that keep firing us?
And I think maybe you niggas want to blow up more than the presenters themselves.
I mean, hello.
What
What's going on?
Anyhow.
Anyway.
Hey, moving right along.
So Pops calls me randomly one day. Gabz FM ya hira. Usanzo rata radio. You called me at the right time because ibile ko ke berekang teng.
Yeah.
Nkare ha go tsamaya sentlanyana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and I'll always love him for that because he reeled me back.
Yeah.
You know, I was done. I told myself I was done because this sales and marketing thing was going well. Commissioning monate.
You're getting better at it too.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then when he called, I was like, shit, I still love radio.
Yeah.
So he's like, put together a demo. Quick.
Yeah.
So I went to a studio for TT.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Marked Men.
Marked Men Studio. Yeah. Shout out to Marked Men.
Yeah.
And we literally put together a demo, 5 minutes, well, less. Just like quick intro. You're listening to this show. Welcome.
You had the basics ready.
I knew.
You know.
I knew what to do from Yarona.
Yeah, when people tell you to do a demo, sometimes I don't think they know what to do.
Exactly.
So I'm sure that worked in your favor.
It did. It definitely did. So Kenneth Mueng was the cut-right.
Yeah.
He was the programs manager at the time.
Like a Tamika. Brazil and Alamudi Hanying, Hotel Labo, Siakir. Was there like a Hariba Tamudi?
Shout out.
So Kenneth Mueng was there,
So Kenneth Mueng was there, and at the time I was supposed to do a show with Pops. We were supposed to do a show together.
Okay.
And I think the demo was so good that he was like, you know what? We're gonna give you your own show.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I started doing early mornings on the weekend.
Okay.
Like 6 in the morning. Yeah, 6 to 9. Like weekend breakfast. Yeah. You know,
why do they always do that to talented people?
I think you have to start from the bottom.
No, you don't.
You do,
I started on breakfast.
You started on breakfast?
No, I started on 6 to 10 in the evening. But it was prime time pretty much for people who are coming from work. No, it's not really prime time.
It is.
But it was 6 to 10 in the evening.
I feel like you need to earn your stripes a little bit, you know? Throwing people in the deep end sometimes.
So people on that lineup were better than you?
Yes. Reginald Richardson.
Yeah, Reginald is an investigator.
Thank you.
That's 2.
Boss.
They were on the same show.
No, was it Brando or Giselle? No, it was Onerabanteng.
Sheesh.
That's a lineup, boss.
That's 3. You better give me more. That's not the whole day.
Reginald in the morning, 6 to 9.
And then Sepo
Onerabanteng, 9 to 12.
Okay.
Simba Mudereri, 12 to 3.
That nigga on Netflix now.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I have no place to go, but you know.
In the morning.
But and then Tepontole, drive time. So these are my peers. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And these are the cream of the crop.
Yeah, they were killing.
That lineup is my favorite lineup.
Yeah.
My favorite lineup of all time.
That's amazing people right there.
Yeah. Reginald Richardson, and then Tepontole helping you get home.
What?
And then Simba Mudereri helping you eat lunch. I mean,
that's nuts.
That's a beautiful lineup.
No, I pay. I respect
so you'd put me on the weekend.
I put you on the weekends. I want to rush through you on it because I want to get to your move and essay. Because this is, you do Gabz FM. How long do you do Gabz FM?
For about 3-4 years.
Damn.
Yeah. I was at Gabz FM for a long time. By the time I left Gabz FM, I was doing 12 to 3. A midday rush with a gentleman called Gabriel.
Hey.
Yeah, so Gabriel and I did the midday rush. Reginald was in the morning. Giselle was 9 to 12. And then we came on after Giselle. And then Tepo was in the evening. So, yeah.
I don't know. I just want your opinion, though.
Yeah.
Why do you think, we don't have women stay long in broadcasting?
Yeah.
Like Giselle come in and out,
and
by no fault of theirs sometimes. I don't know what they are refusing to pay, or they're just inconsistent with how they treat female broadcasters. Let's help Ole. Let's help right now. I think I would pay Tepo anything if I was a station manager to get back on air. What do you think it is about our broadcasting scene that is so unfriendly to women? Why is it like that? Are you guys difficult to work with?
I don't know. Are we?
Hey, I don't know.
I mean, you worked with some of the you worked with Dumi.
I worked with Zizi.
You worked with Zizi. You worked with Sasame.
Well, another one. okay, I won't go there with the other one that got me fired from the last gig. But, I mean, women are not difficult to work with long as you are not macking on them.
We're not. Just don't hit on me.
As long as you're not hitting on them.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here.
I don't know.
So is it fair to assume that a lot of this is because you guys refuse advances?
Yes.
My nigga.
Yes. I will say that. But at Gabz FM, there was none of that. Gabz FM was professional. Like, and we are like an adult station, right? So we're talking to corporate. I was a kid, but I had to, because at some point I had to, and I had to stand in for her show for a whole 3 months.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was my time, where they were like, this girl, let's move her from the weekend and put her to weekday, because
you took your spot and you shined, mama.
Man, I'm sure they even called Tepo, I love you.
I'm sure she listened and tried to come back early.
Because so yeah, but it was nice. And then while I was at Gabz FM, I got an email. I don't know who it was from, but bless that person. They told me about a scholarship that was happening at Rhodes University in Grahamstown.
Oh, DJ Gabz went there.
He did. And
claims to know Zulu now.
Kells.
And DJ Kells also.
Not Kells, the lady that was the station manager.
The former station manager at
Yaron FM.
Oh, yeah.
She was at Rhodes.
Whoa.
So I was selected amongst 10 African women. I was representing Botswana to earn this scholarship for women in media.
Okay.
To go study media management. So I was like, man, and this is prime of Gabz FM. And the show is doing well. I'm on 12 to 3. I feel like we're killing it.
You're killing, yeah.
Yeah. And I told Gabz FM, guys, I've been offered a scholarship, go Rhodes. And they were kind enough to be like, yo.
Go ahead, mama.
Go. We'll be right here, how hates.
Were they?
Well, I mean, kinda.
How long was it?
The program was 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah. But I told myself, dog, I'm in Mzansi. Like,
can I do something?
Let me do something very quickly while I'm there. So
Spirit.
While I was there, I was looking around. The nearest town to Grahamstown is Port Elizabeth, which is like about an hour away. And there's one of the biggest stations there called Algoa.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, no, Algoa FM, I really want it. But now we're in SA. It's a whole other ball game. They're not just gonna hand it to me.
Do you know the traffic?
You know what I mean? I don't even know the road. I can't even say the names.
That's always what used to come to mind when I thought about working on radio outside of Botswana. It's like, yo, these niggas are gonna know early that I'm not from here because I won't know where Senane is, like the culture of the place. And that's what leads me to your Bay FM. How do you get into Bay FM?
So Bay FM is a community radio station.
In the Eastern Cape.
Yeah. And we had to intern somewhere. And I told myself because...
what happened with Algoa? Did you go there?
I tried.
What did they say?
They were like, you won't cut it.
Why?
You just won't cut it. I'm so sorry. So what you do is a voice test. So you go into the studio and you just read an ad. They give you a script, 2 different scripts, a happy one, a chilled one.
Okay.
And they say, okay, now just read.
With your expressions, how you feel the text.
Read the script. Yeah. So I went in for a voice test and they were like, you're good, but... So at school, we had to find an internship. And I was like, right?
I love that. Like you make goals for yourself.
I told myself I'm in SA now. I've got my foot in the door. Like, let me see what can happen.
What can pop off.
So I searched all the radio stations in the Eastern Cape area. And some of them, there was one that was a bit far. It was in East London. So PE was closer. Algoa were like, no, thank you. I was like, and I was crushed. I was like, shit, maybe I'm not cut out for this. It's Yarun FM all over again, you know? So, but I tried Bay FM. They're a community radio station. They're really like another big station in PE.
Yeah.
And I told them, we're interning. And they were like, come through. And the thing with community stations is they can never turn you away. I don't think they're allowed to, you know?
What is the radius of like the reach?
It's pretty like...
Throughout the whole Eastern Cape and stuff.
It's throughout the whole Eastern Cape.
It's like the YFM before. Is it national now?
No,
because
not
it's
yet.
still in the
not
Gauteng
yet. It's
area.
still Gauteng only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's just
but that's
Eastern
a pretty
Cape.
substantial amount of people compared. Yeah.
Exactly. Because the Eastern Cape is huge.
Yeah.
So it covers all those areas.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. So they were like, no, come through. Come and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So at the time, they didn't know that I was a radio person. I was like, I'm going to surprise their asses.
You got it?
I'm going to pull it out my pocket.
Whoa.
And be like, oh, by the way.
I got this shit.
I know how to run desk, you know? So I went there, Lord, I'm doing admin, guy. Yeah, and then one day, someone didn't show up.
Ooh. If you ever go to radio, that's the moment.
That is your time.
That is the moment. How can phone call later, and it doesn't matter what you're doing.
And radio presenters are always sick, huh?
All the time. Until they see someone who can take that job.
And they're like, shit, nah, never. Yeah. So the moment someone didn't show up, I said to and it's such a small station, you know, it's very close. Like community radio is just different. It's so different from commercial. So I told the lady, okay, you know, I can do this.
Get this shit done.
And she was like, yo, are you sure? Like, we're broadcasting, we're live. I'm like, I give her I gave her a quick run through of who the hell I be, because she don't know.
She didn't know.
By the way, this is me here, Gabz FM. You know what I mean? So yeah, and she was like, okay, cool. Let's see what you got.
Wow.
I went in there, killed the hell out of it. They gave me a show. Monday to Friday, lunchtime.
Prime time.
I was like, maybe I got it. You know, I'll go ahead, broken my heart a little bit. So I was like, maybe I got it. So as soon as my internship was over, they offered me a job.
Petula.
So yeah, no gap like the work permit and what. And I got my permit, and that was that. I started working on South African radio.
Wait, so kind of total before South African radio.
Yeah.
You, I'm going to digress just a little bit, because you are one of the few people who is married to your high school sweetheart. How did you guys do it?
We were focused. Mama always says, she's like, wait, bana baba ngwe bonene ba itse for dibuka wena no etse ba simane.
You guys.
I'm like, yeah, we've been together forever.
So
17 years this year that I've been with Faust.
That's crazy.
Right?
And now you guys are married. How does this work? You are out there.
Yeah.
Does he come out there? How do you guys then make it work?
Yeah, because you know the thing is, he's a DJ, right?
Yeah.
So the nice thing about a DJ is that you could literally take your mixer
and go work.
Medical quotes and everything. Exactly.
And he's not your average. This nigga out here doing the damn thing.
He's one of the few turntablists in him and Kenny, you know, are one of the
but
few.
He keeps, every single time.
Yeah.
Like even some of the mixes that I saw him do, because he has set up something where he mixes sometimes.
Yeah.
I can hear the influence of, because he gets influence from where he's at, and then he puts it together. So that was together.
Because I mean, we've been together for a lifetime, and I wasn't about to like move away for a year. I mean, like tricking with the relationship. I not personally, I don't believe in long distance.
Yeah,
I don't. Right. So I told him, look, I got this scholarship. Should we go? And he's like, damn, why not?
Say less.
He came, we took our daughter literally out from school. She was like 2 years old at the time. Okay. So he does gigs at night, and I love Faust for that. Like by the time we left PE, they knew who DJ Faust was.
Of course, this nigga is not average.
They knew.
Yeah,
this is Mr. Kosher we're talking about,
God,
right?
Kosher nights, you're taking a whole movement.
Yeah.
People are still asking about Kosher nights to this
when
day.
is Kosher coming back?
Yeah.
So
that's crazy, man.
It was really, I think that as well, because he was so supportive. Like how way you won't do things because Patnaraya Haho is like, maybe we shouldn't. Like I'll be honest, Hangang Khanna from doing anything sekisebatlang. But if he had said, I probably wouldn't have gone because I would have gone for school and then come back home. You know,
that extra drive because you had your
having
people
him
with you.
exactly. It's like
you know, my world is right here.
My world is here. So
That's
YFM was amazing, but it didn't happen for long. Because I said to myself, shit, I'm in South Africa,
dude. And then how then
Joburg is where
how far is Joburg from the Konakone thing for you to even think?
8 hours away.
So how did you YFM become a factor? Like how did that pass your peripheral?
I was trying everybody. I'll tell you now. Okay. So first of all, when I was in PE at school, I was still doing a show, Kwano, ya Gabz FM. So I did a top 10 local countdown. I'd literally set up a booth. I'd made a booth, ka box. Ebeke tataya naka soundproofing.
Soundproofing.
The
the eggshells.
I used eggshells.
The eggshell.
The crate.
The
crate. I used that. Ebeke ke kushina ka matrase
my pause
as well.
You have pause everything these days.
Pause. So then, you know, I would record the show. And I'd do the show and I'd send it through to Gabz FM and then air it like once a week, a pre-recorded show.
But they were paying you for it.
They were paying me. They were paying me.
So they didn't want to let go of you as well because like
I was coming back home.
So they wanted to find a way they could still work with you.
Exactly.
So
shout out to them for being open to that in the first place. You know, because a lot of people would be like, what's ama. You know, but they were like, okay, you still want to do a show? Sure. So I'd send it through every week. Shout out Siami-sang, who's the current programs manager.
Can I have a story about Sims?
Sorry, Sims, we airing you out.
No, it's like because like I realize how old I really am. Like I remember when I used to pick up Sims, like you would pass through the passage in mosque.
Oh my God,
Haji West. I used to pick him up from there, and he was interning Koyarona. For the morning show. So he was the producer for my show.
Kidding me.
This nigga is the programs manager at Gabz FM right now.
Right now.
And I'm like, sure.
He's come a long way.
A really long way from walking in the passenger. So lead singer Sims paid his dues. So I don't mean to fast track you, but like how did they react to you when about YFM? Was it like the first time reaction, or did it have to be over and over and over and over?
It was a first time thing. So I told myself I want to move to where it's hot, where radio is hip and happening. And anyone knows that's in Johannesburg, right? So I tried every single station. 5FM, YFM, Jacaranda, name the station. I recorded my little demo in my little booth. And then I sent it out.
I love that
to everyone.
Man.
Everyone. Literally, I had a list of 20 radio stations. There's like thousands of them. There's hundreds. I had my top 20. I sent out my demo to my top 20. And each one I had to customize, obviously. I can't send a generic
to all of them.
All of them. So, hello YFM, I'd say Y. I'd say 5. I'd say... So, 5FM responded. East Coast Radio responded. No, they were like, oh, you sound great, but we're not hiring right now. They responded. And I was like, damn, okay, cool. YFM called me the next day and were like, can you come in for a meeting?
8 hours away.
And I was like, exactly. And I was like, I live in PE. And they were like, shit, okay. What's going to happen now? Are you going to move to Joburg or what's going to happen? So now I had to have a discussion with Faust. Hore baby, let's move to Joburg. Are they offering you a job? No, they're not. So what are we moving for? I'm like, dog, we just need to make sure that Harits and Aqua, they say yes.
Yeah.
And there's no two ways about it.
Let's make sure.
Let's just make sure they can't turn us down. So he's like, baby, let's go. There are more gigs in Joburg anyway.
Yeah. I can play. Wow.
So we moved.
Is this spirituality? Like, do you... Like, what is this? What is this faith?
Right?
In your abilities like that.
Yeah. I have faith. I have faith.
In your abilities, for sure.
I do. I do. Especially after coming off of the Gabz FM high.
Yeah.
I felt like I must be good at this thing. You know, I must be. After getting the job at Bay, I was like, I must be.
I must be good at this thing.
There must be something.
Yeah.
After YFM called back and were like, can you meet us?
Something's happening here. Yeah.
So we moved. Luckily, Files has a sister in Pretoria. We stayed with her for a little while. And while we're staying with her, I'm meeting with YFM. And the programs manager, again, Dumelo. Shout out to Dumelo.
What up, Dumelo?
Yeah. And what I like about Dumelo is he was like willing to give an unknown a chance.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw an excerpt from an interview he did where he was talking about, like, you know, how they're extending opportunities to young people and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a very, very open-minded guy.
Yes.
It's like, and they did mention you are from Botswana, so it wasn't even a factor to him.
No, it wasn't.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't.
But was it a factor
care.
in other places? Like, do you think
yes.
having the Botswana tag next to you works for or against you?
Against.
How?
Especially because... there's a we mentioned it earlier, there's a very pro-South African air in South Africa right now. Yeah. I don't want to call it xenophobia.
I was going to do it for
you. I don't want to call it that, but they're very much about South Africans. As much as Habana Batatale Batswana, because Setswana is one of their official languages. Yeah. So, you know, you could be a Tswana person from South Africa, right? Yeah. So as Batswana kind of slipped through the cracks because we speak Setswana. Yeah. So it's a bit more...
It's easy for us.
It's easier, you know?
Camouflage.
Yeah, it's harder for my Kenyan husband, you know, and for other people from Zimbabwe. And, you know, it's
they're actually being targeted for some reason or the other.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So shout out to Melo for that. I mean, that's very, very open-minded of him. Yeah. So take us through it. I mean, you walk through the building now, the meeting.
The meeting now.
What are we doing in the meeting?
We get in and he's like, I've already sent in my demo. So he knows what I sound like. Yeah. He knows what I'm capable. And my demo, I told myself, I'm not going to do it the usual way.
What is the usual way? For those who might want to send demos out there as well.
The usual way is you would step into a studio and you would have something that you'd have your show intro, like you're welcoming everyone to the show. And then you explain what's going to happen on the show. And then you say goodbye. So you do your intro, your body, and your outro, right? I told myself I'm not going to go to a studio. I don't even have money to pay people. There's no Mark men here that I know.
There's no teaching.
So I took my phone and I put it in studio with me in Bay FM. And I recorded the show.
Light work.
Live. Because now you can see me in the element of what it's like. With the pressure
that comes with live radio.
With the pressure, right? So I just put my phone there in studio and that's what I sent him. And I think that on its own, you know, and I made sure I looked great that day.
No, we can't.
You know what I mean? So, just so he knows I'm sellable. You know
put me on a poster, nigga.
I can be on a billboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It works.
I don't have a face for radio.
You have a face for radio. That's an insult, guys. So you got in there and now he knows you and then
he's like, okay, you know, he's like, there's a program they have a training program called Y Academy.
Yeah, I know Y Academy.
Yeah.
G went through it.
Yes.
I think more flavor.
Yeah.
More flavor. I was watching Netlane, a podcast and chill, and they were talking about how it's a thing on its own.
Yeah. Like it's a whole... Like they advertise it and they have ads for it.
Yeah,
and
it's its own entity.
It is.
But it's the engine that keeps the station going.
That keeps fueling the station.
So why don't you tell Owen to open an academy? Okay, so
Owen Rampha open an
academy. I mean, I think he'd be better off if he has it as an entity there by itself.
Separate thing.
And then supply all these radio stations.
Exactly. With well-trained presenters.
I can give you a list of people Owen have trained. From me, you, to Penyo Moroka. Everyone.
Tumi Ramsden. O'Neill. Dollar. Everyone. So Tumelo is the same. He's the Owen of I would say South Africa because he trained Mo Flavor. He trained Tando Tabete. He trained Bonang Mateba. He trained Kutso Teledi.
Oh my word.
He trained Ankle Tap. Kore, just name and all of these people then leave YFM and go to so it's like a feeder station for other stations. So he said to me, I love you so much, I'm not going to put you in Y Academy. I'm going to put you straight onto Graveyard. That like doesn't happen, right?
Wow.
Because you have to go to Y Academy so that, and Y Academy is not specific to like on air. You go, you do production, you go, you do different departments, and then if you find where you're best suited, that's where they put you.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was like, yo, I'm not going to put you through this. Straight to Graveyard. So I started doing, and Graveyard, first of all, radio is 24 hours in South Africa.
Because they're always up.
Always
up. There's someone listening at any time of the day.
All the time.
All
the time. So I started doing 3 to 6 in the morning, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
How?
And Akanya in Johane, I have to drive myself. You know all these stories. It's just like, oh my God, they're gonna hijack me.
Tell me,
they're gonna kill me.
How do you do it? Like in the morning? Okay, how does your day look like before you go to radio at 3 and then 6? I mean, I'd have crazy anxiety about it because you know, hey, every
it's
day oversleeping and stuff. So how does like your normal day look before you get ready for your show?
So like I would sleep maybe at like 8. Yeah. 7, 8.
What about the same time as the man?
Just so that I could wake up, got to get ready, and then drive to Hyde Park. And Hyde Park is like crime central. And that's where Y is. Like there's hijackings there all the time. They even have like these big cones alerting you. Okay, just alert, this is a hot spot. You know what I mean? So I would go 3 a.m. and I told myself I'm gonna kill this shit. You know, because I saw myself moving from Graveyard to
you did all
wherever.
of it.
So from Graveyard, then I started doing Weekend Breakfast. And then from Weekend Breakfast, I started doing Monday to Friday, 10 to midnight. And that's, in SA, that's prime.
Yeah. Your star is rising.
Yeah.
And at an exponential rate, like it's moving up really, really quickly.
Yeah.
What was your takeaway the minute you were on air? Like the differences between being on air in Botswana and being on air in South Africa?
Yeah. Well, one, I think just the support behind it. I think a lot of the times, a lot of presenters, Bakwano, you're on your own in terms of creating your celebrity. Right? Yeah. So, they make you a celebrity on purpose. So, they will firstly do your photo shoots.
I saw your pics, the one with the African thing there as well, with the pups. I was like, hey, we are on, baby.
Yes, Papa. You know, and it's so professional about it. So there's a lot of support that comes from the company because if you do well, they do well. Right?
Yeah.
So Bahupusha, like, okay, any of their gigs, any of their anything, even if their client is having something, they say, Renale Tato, he can cut, Scar. Renale's big SCAR, he can come in and rock for you and be the MC. We have this DJ, he can come and DJ for your event.
But this will never happen here.
They plug you. So that is the biggest difference that I saw. You get on air, you get off, that's that on that, right? Maybe they'll call you if we have an in-house event, we'll call you to come and show face. But outside of the station, we're not really pushing you. those people are pushing their people. Yeah. They're not celebrities by mistake.
Yeah.
They're literally being shoved down your throats by the radio station 24/7 on the social media, on the billboards.
I think I heard an ad once where that DJs, if the DJs are playing somewhere,
their weekend gig guys.
Yeah, weekend gig guys. And then it'll be our Petula will be out.
Yes.
So if the DJs who play on the radio station have an ad for all of the spots where they're going to be
Imagine, exactly. And
I can't even fathom that here.
Yeah, a lot of people would think, hanga kya promoter Cresta Mahala, or hanga kya promoter Stay Well Mahala.
Yeah.
But that's what they do.
Yeah.
If you have your gigs where you're performing, they'd be like, okay, Scar's going to be out in Moshopa. He's going to be out Gomohoritane, you know? So they do that for you so that you can become more of a popular person. It helps for the show because the more popular you are, the more advertising comes in, right? Yeah, so...
But it seems to be the opposite.
Yeah, but talent-wise, we're right there with them. We are right there with them. It's just differently. Yeah, but when it comes to talent, we have the talent. No doubt. No doubt.
I just get demotivated. Well, not depressed, but like, blind because like, it's the complete opposite here. It's like, don't get a big head. That's always what the drama is. It's like, you shouldn't get a big head.
Yes.
But still, they want you to help them sell the radio station.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
I'm never really understanding it. I want to get into your... How can I learn YFM?
Oh my God, the saddest day of my life.
What happened?
I couldn't renew my work permit.
I saw that as a headline somewhere. I just wanted to get it from you also. How? The first time around, it was okay. You were able to get it.
So when you go to South Africa, you get a 5-year work permit. So I first got it at YFM. I stayed at Bay for a few years. And then because I was working in the same industry, I just used the same permit for YFM. And I already had it, right? So it was cool. So when the permit came to an end, now it's time to go to immigration. And to say, guys, now, immigration, even with here, it's very tricky because they can say no. And they did. And, you know, as much as the company will try and back you up, and they'll give you a letter and say, no, she's working for us, you know, letter of employment and all of that to support your case. But at the end of the day, it comes down to immigration. So I tried to appeal, and they were just like, nope, sorry. The job that you're doing, a young South African can do. So, a South African that can do the job. Because it's not... We know it's a skilled... We know it requires a lot of skill. But it's not one of those skilled professions like...
They have a list.
Like, they have a list. Okay, engineers, doctors...
a little extra, like 15% extra or whatever.
What is it called? I don't know. I don't know. But it happens here too. To a lot of people I know. You know, to a lot of people. I think it happened to Simba, which is why he had to leave Botswana, because he just couldn't get his papers renewed.
But pretty much that was a little bit of a blessing to some point.
It was, because look where he is now.
Netflix, baby!
Hello, you know.
How did that
I'm
make
still
you
waiting
feel?
for my blessing. Like, where the hell is my blessing?
How did that make you feel?
Sad, dog. Sad. I was devastated. I still am, because this happened... a few months ago. This happened last year. So it's almost a year. Last year, September.
Jesus Christ.
Last year, September. And now imagine Y and I having to part ways, not because they're saying, oh my God.
Yeah. You're not the person for the job.
No, it was Eish. Dibambiri. So I had to leave South Africa because Dibambiri.
I don't know what to
Can
tell
you imagine?
I
was
so sorry, Mom.
devastated. And then I come back home devastated as fuck. And then I find out I'm pregnant. I was like, okay.
God works in mysterious
right?
ways.
Because there was no way I was going to have a baby.
In South Africa, yeah.
You know, it just wasn't, because in SA it was just me and Faust. It was just the two of us. No, like, any family, no, not at all. Yeah. Any family that would come, they would come to see us, visit for 2 days, and then go. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, okay, so this is why you, God.
He's got your back, you know.
I was like, shout outs to you.
So
this is the part where I'm supposed to come show the baby.
No.
And be this is why I'm back, guys.
2 baby girls, mommy.
2 baby girls. So I have a 9-year-old and a 5-month-old.
My gosh.
So dog.
I want to get back to you on YFM because it feels like an injustice here.
It is, dog.
So what do we do in this instance? Because like you're saying, Barry, a South African can do this job.
Yeah.
What does that do for Petula's plans? I mean, you and your family's plans, because you're good at this. You have been acclaimed. You know, you were on your way up. All we know, you're gonna end up. I know that you're gonna run the drive time show.
There
even
was
the
definitely
morning.
plans for that. There was definitely plans for that.
So what do we do?
Dog.
What do we do?
Dog. And the thing is, imagine, like, we've invested so much to come here.
Yeah.
You know, we're finally here. I'm finally on YFM.
Yo.
Like, I'm on Y, dog.
On Y? You're on the website?
The second Botswana to ever do it. After
Was there one?
DJ Fresh.
Oh.
Fresh was the only one.
Hey,
he's not are you okay?
Hey, boot. Hey, but I think what we learned from him, and I think that's one thing that one of our other guys has learned, you know, Zibonani, is that you shouldn't wear too much on your on your back, the flag.
Don't.
You know, so having had success there,
yeah.
Before they started with the visa, what do you think William last should do? But to South Africa claim him?
Yes.
So would you pretend to be South African?
You know, a lot of people had done that before I got there, right? But
there's a lot of Batswana.
That are under the rug, right? But Tumelo said to me, don't. Because it's part of like the intriguing part about you, you know, because 1, I don't sound South African. 2, my Setswana is very different, right? So immediately, Ganabo Fresh were able to, because they'd been there for years, right?
Yeah.
So babocha, you know, you know what I mean? And there was just no way I was gonna able to hide it. So Tumelo was like, you know, just wear it, and I did, and it got a great response. Like, oh, your Setswana is so
unique,
it's so pure and sexy. I was like, Setswana.
I was talking with well, my girl was recording Le Senior Oat, and we were talking. You know, my cup runneth over.
Yeah.
Them niggas held on to that thing for so long. But it's just my cup runneth over.
Yeah, like they get so intrigued by it. So it's like it's a two-edged sword, because in the same breath, they're not so welcoming to Batswana. They love their people.
Yes.
There's that silent xenophobia. You know, I used to get it all the time. Like, hey, they'd be like, oh, you're on radio. Hey, your papers must be okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, so Nalijibambir, you know, they'd make those comments. But I think just wear it. It's who you are. So you know, it's working for Mposibina, you know, and they love her in South Africa. And they know Botswana. You know what I mean? So I think anyone that wants to go there and try their luck, just wear it. Just wear it.
Just wear yourself. Like,
just do, you know, I don't think I'm not there because Botswana.
I beg to differ.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, I mean,
I think so.
To immigration, yes.
Because I really don't get it.
But
I mean,
to YFM, they didn't care. I was just a good broadcaster. And Bampirile for 3 years I was there, you know? So to them, it was, you're just a great broadcaster. We like your style. You know what I mean?
I'm here because, we're wild. We blaze and shit. So my mind is just going somewhere else. I'm just thinking it's like someone probably wanted your job and called immigration.
You never know. But, but immigration, though,
because it's a tricky place.
It is.
Yeah, it's a really tricky place that side, you know.
It is. But they have those rules, you know. At first, I was like, you know what I mean?
That's what I think. I think maybe that'll make me feel better.
But then I came home and I was like, shit, Botswana did that to Simba. That's the only reason why. You know what I mean?
Can't argue that.
You know, and there's another gentleman, a South African guy, who is working here at Berekako ShopRite, and he was the manager there. And he went to renew immigration ya rona ha. Is it block 8? And he was like, and they were like, so every country in the world is there to protect its citizens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't have their citizens sitting at home while Petula is employed. They don't want that. Botswana, believe it or not,
Botswana does the same
Botswana
thing.
included.
No, I know
there are
Botswana.
so many people that I know personally that had to leave the country that grew up in Botswana, but it was like, mama, how kwa bereka tiro ye gona le Motswana o ileng gore o ka idira, including my husband. You know, he didn't. I mean, he's qualified in IT, and the job that he used to have. I mean, why he had to go into DJing is because his formal job. It was like, they're unemployed Botswana in IT. So
I'm all kinds of fucked up right now. So,
man,
I don't know.
so like I'm fine now.
Yeah.
Had we had this a few months ago, I probably would have broke down. You probably would have had to get me tissue, you know, because I was finally at finally living this dream. You know, everyone. When the news broke, I felt like the whole country was so happy.
And
you know?
I'm also thinking about like how your journey as a broadcaster was and how it always looked like you never blind. And then you go, it's sort of like that story about the prophets in foreign lands and are not really
acknowledged at home. Yeah.
And then I saw that for you and I'm like, you know, they couldn't have picked a better person.
Yeah.
And if she's in, she's going to be in there and kill.
Dog, I had a plan. I was like, okay, after Y, I'm going to go to 947. After 947, I might go to Jacaranda. Then some Siburunyana. You know, just go in with the Afrikaners a little bit, you know.
What's up, Boot?
Goeiemorgen. Yeah.
Love of my love.
Ek is happy.
Shit.
So, you know, it changed everything. It changed everything. And literally, because you hadn't planned it, now I'm like, okay, I need to pack the fuck up and go.
Before now jail becomes a problem.
But luckily, I have home, you know.
Yeah.
I have home. Yeah. And I definitely want to get back on radio. It's just y'all need to afford me now. You know? Like I've tasted good money.
Yeah.
Good money.
You know what? This is actually a skill that pays.
Very well. Yeah.
Give us
That's
a
the
range.
other difference.
No, give us a range.
Yeah,
how much are we talking?
That's the other difference.
Not you particularly, but how much are we talking? How much are people getting?
No, I don't mind talking about how much I'm
when I left Yarona, I was getting 12.5.
On breakfast.
Imagine.
Okay, I was
and
getting,
I had co-host though, but like, so I don't know what
12.5 pula arire exchange rate.
What's the Gabz exchange rate?
Kibo 10,000 rand.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, the pula is stronger.
So kibo 10. I know. It's probably
higher.
More.
Is it more?
Yeah, it's probably
more?
more 15. It's more.
Oh no, more rands, yes, because the pula is stronger. Yes.
So it's probably more 14, 15.
Yeah, it's probably 14, 15. So you were getting that on breakfast, right? Okay. So I was, you know, I was doing 10 p.m. to midnight, right? And I was doing 3 times a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was getting 15,000 rand.
And
that's 3 times. That's just, how much is 15,000 rand? It's like,
it's probably
get on a 12K.
12,000.
Get 12K.
Yeah, get on a 12K.
Hey, so you were getting that, and imagine
for working
that's
every morning from 6 until 10.
Every morning for 4 hours. My show was 2 hours, 3 times a week.
Same
and I wasn't
amount.
even prime, you know? And they like to make the excuse, no, population, and we can pay our people that much. We can, right? If we invest in turning our people into the celebrities, right? Because a lot of the people that you see on air here, you don't see them anywhere else. I think Scar, when you were perfect because you're a celebrity outside of radio.
That's why they can't mess with me. That's
this is what I'm saying.
That's why even when they fire me, it's like, niggas, I'm
Scar.
Yeah,
thank you.
We can,
thank
peace.
you.
What one?
Now they need to do that for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, everyone needs to make. Once we get there, we can pay our people that much.
Yeah.
And we should pay our people that much.
But do you think now they're hiring unknowns because they don't want to pay?
Because they don't have the money.
It's not they don't have the money. The sales managers are getting the money. We know that. A lot of the sales...
Okay.
Go to all these radio stations and check out the sales managers and see how blinged up they are.
Well, I think it's
Petula is
for...
not saying it. I'm saying it. Go check out how much these dudes are making.
But I think advertising has dropped. You know?
Because it's the same dudes. I'm telling you, it's the same dudes who know each other. And right now, it's like a monopoly. I mean, for sure, this pod, we're trying to get money for it as well.
Of course.
But a lot of what we're coming up against is your traditional, the traditional way of doing things.
Yeah.
There is the advertising agencies, which are put on retainer by these companies.
Yeah.
And most of these other people are linked with the sales managers of these. It can be your publication, it can be your radio station. There's already those relationships.
Yeah.
But the money doesn't come.
It doesn't trickle down.
To the presenters, the people who actually do the job. It's them niggas in the sales and marketing offices. And those are the ones that we're coming for.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
By the way.
Because I'm really serious. It's like the celebrities are now in the sales offices or they're the ones who are getting money, but you're creating content every single morning. I'm digressing too much here. I want to get into something sailing water now is yours, and you're still at it, I hope, which is your bedtime stories series. You know, I saw you on an interview talking about it. Whenever you just started with like books in your house, and then you just started reading them for people
daughter.
like for you, and then it started being across the world, you know. I want to talk about it. When did you start it, and where are we right now with the bedtime story series? Petula's classic bedtime stories.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you know, I love your producer, okay? Because I know this ain't you.
Come on.
Okay, maybe a little bit of you.
Yes,
okay,
right.
you're a radio person, but so you do your homework.
But you're right. It's all her.
I love her.
And that's why it's so easy for us to keep going. Because like I said, I work with her on The Breakfast Show. So she gets me. So
Millie, you're the shizness guy. I love you. That started during COVID. We weren't going anywhere. No one was doing anything. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll just read bedtime. Because my daughter, right? Yeah. She loves me to read bedtime stories to her. And sometimes nikelapa. So what I'd do is I'd record it. So that had a mommy bedtime story. I just press play. And then she just listens to me. And I was like, ding.
There it is.
How many parents would use this? How many parents can use this where you're too tired to read the bedtime story and you just get Petula and press play and then
it goes.
Voila. So I still do it, but my daughter's doing it now because she can read now.
9-year-old here. What?
You know what I mean?
Time flies.
And I'm like, actually, why not have a kid reading to other kids?
Yeah.
Oh, so we still do that.
Where do you put it, and like where do you put it on your Instagram on
social media?
Social media.
For now, we want to sell it. You know, I mean, we're all trying to sell. You know, so we're trying to sell it. Hopefully, get it sponsored by Bo Macmillan, Botswana.
Yeah,
wabona. Bo mabolao barenele malao ya.
Hey, I have a mabolao.
You do?
It's called Mpo.
Yeah.
Baby, we've been sleeping on Mpo this whole time. Moving right along. I swear, she named it.
I want to name my bed. I'm going to name my bed.
I'm going to go for your top fives.
Okay.
Dead or alive. Let's start with BWMCs. I'm not putting you on the spot here to put me, but it's free. We'll start there.
No, but you know it's you.
We in the world. Well, I'm in the 5, but like now we're in the 5.
Top 5. Okay.
Give us some thought. This is going to be a problem if these niggas make this a trailer.
Even
think about it. Top 5 BWMCs because the reason we do this is because Petula is an actually really good rapper.
I used to rap, and we did a song.
Yes.
Called PODI.
It was for the people of different identities.
This should be the theme song of the podcast.
Back in the day, okay, so YFM lost their archives. So where we had the song, I moved from studios to studios. Niggas have lost the song.
Oh my God.
So I'm trying to get it from Presley. So we'll get it. Yeah.
I swear.
So it was you on that track. But so she's an actually good spitter.
I
so
can
it's
rap
one of
really
those
well, yeah. And I can sing.
And she can sing too.
Yeah.
So
I've been on a couple of songs with German and TCM. Groove Cartel. I've done a couple of songs with them. I've done songs with you.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know why I never got into it. But yeah, so...
I want your top 5.
Okay, top 5. Oh, that wasn't a high five. It was a
yes,
top
it's
5.
a top 5.
But let's make it a high five anyway.
Okay, let's make it a high five, mama.
Top 5. Okay. In no... Does number 5 mean I feel like you're number 5?
Okay.
Or 5 of...
5 of your favorite BW hip-hop artists of all time. And then we're going to get into your top 5 radio presenters of all time.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah. So
let me
just get ready
okay.
while you think about it. Because we want to know.
Okay, you're definitely in the top 5.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say number 1, got number 2, got number 3.
Give me your top 5, please.
Okay, fine. Number 5 is...
You can make me 5, it's fine.
No, I'm not going to make you 5 because you're in like the upper
But it's
upper
easier
percentile.
that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Top 2%.
You're definitely up there for me. Okay, so I really feel like I should say in no particular order. Okay. I love Vizo.
Of course. That's our king right there.
Vizo is right there.
Yeah.
Talented guy. Mr. Zaga himself.
Roll up, man.
I love Staga.
Hey!
Even though, like, I don't know, like, I felt like I don't want to call him a one-hit wonder.
But it was one
It
song.
was one hit.
Come on, but on the real... Okay, we were close to him. It was
It
one
really
big song.
was. Even though I like had the album...
And they were heavy, those tracks on the
because
album.
he had that his personality on there that was on YFM.
Babatunde
Babangida.
Mangos.
He was there.
Yeah.
You're beautiful,
Your beautiful mangos.
He's there too. Okay.
We got
Zeus, obviously.
Come on now.
Zeus, obviously. I want to put and they don't rap. Jeez, can I put more?
No.
Okay, just 5.
You have 2 spots left.
Shit. I love Sambati. And he doesn't rap anymore.
He still
but
does,
he's so
but
good.
I could go he's a daddy.
He's
and
a father.
A husband.
You know when rappers go corporate, it's so sad, hey? When any creative goes corporate, it's just so, you know.
It's Botswana for you. It's
know
like really, really depressing as fuck. But, okay, number 1. We know who
it be.
Yes.
Scar, you're my fave.
Thank
dog.
you, mama.
And I'm not just saying that because like we have like a personal relationship. You're right up there, dog. You are right up there. You know. You. You're right.
I don't know what to do with
Special
myself.
bonus, Chub Heights.
Oh, hey,
I'm so
Chabito.
sorry. I've done 6.
You know what?
I love Chabito.
I nearly caused drama because once we were marked man, we go studios are marked man. Chabito, I know okay.
Okay. No, Chub is
Man.
always there. Chub is always there.
He's
so
one of the most
Chub.
underrated MCs in BW
right,
of all time.
Right.
Of all
I think
time.
he is so amazing. He's consistent as well.
Yeah.
You know,
All
but
the
it's
time.
just like, I don't know. Something's got to give. And it will. I feel like
It will.
we're paving the way, you know,
Yeah.
and then as time goes, the creative industry in Botswana will be like as amazing as the SA one. I
Definitely.
feel like as long as we keep pushing, keep going,
Yeah.
we'll definitely get there.
I really love that attitude because we had to go through it so that the younger people have it easier.
Exactly.
to
The
go through.
banties and the visos.
Every single time I
Yeah,
think about it, well,
yeah.
I earned $500 from an Easy B
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
and these niggas are
Back
calling
then.
20,000.
Yes, now.
For 30 minutes.
Exactly.
And I got 5 clip.
Yeah, exactly. So we've come a long way,
So
you know?
it should be 100,000 for the next
Yeah,
generation.
definitely.
I want to get into your broadcasters because we are running out of time.
Okay. Broadcasters.
But think
top
about
5.
it. Think about it. Yeah.
Okay. This one is in no particular order. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But okay.
Okay.
Let me put it in order.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 1, Robbie Rob. I love Robin.
Gorilla.
I think he's amazing. He's entertaining. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Owen told me that I wouldn't be on radio if it wasn't for Robbie Rob. Even though we have our differences. Yeah, he's the one who
He's
put
the one
him
that
on
was
me.
like, yo, this kid has
Talk
something.
to this kid, and then that's how I got into the training program.
Shout out Robbie Rob, dog.
So I'll give you that shout, Robbie.
Shout out Robin. Shout out Robin.
Yeah. And then
Number 2, Giselle.
Giselle. Yes.
Yeah. I love her voice. It's so silky. It's just Tsepon Tole.
Of course.
You know, and Tsepo,
Yeah.
I modeled, and a lot of people used to confuse me with Tsepo.
Yeah.
And because I don't know if she knows this, I modeled my entire style of broadcasting around her. Yeah, so she might be she's my number 1. Definitely.
How many do we have down?
3.
We have 3. We have 2
Robin,
left.
Tsepon
And then Tsepon
Tole.
Tole Hall. You should put the hall.
Tsepon Tole Hall. Sorry.
Michael Lutoha
When
said,
you
"Mama,
marry a celeb, hey, you must know.
Double
Hore.
barrel what one?
Hey,
Hey.
okay. Tsepon Tole Hall.
Yeah.
Yes. Who else do I love? Reginald Richardson. I love him.
As long as he keeps himself out of trouble.
Stay out of politics.
But he can't.
I know.
He
I
can't.
know.
Yeah.
I know. But Reginald Richardson is right up there. And then my number 5 is a tie between Owen and Boni. Yeah. I enjoyed them both on air. So
Okay.
yeah, Owen is there.
All
I loved
right.
him on Gabz. He
All
was on
right.
Gabz, right?
Yeah, he was on Gabz.
Like years ago.
He's worked on all 3.
He has.
Except to my fam.
But RB2 he was
He
there?
was on RB2 too.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he came from a long time ago. RB2 so I wasn't really paying attention until someone told me. It's like, yo, you know Owen was on there too. And DJ Sid always puts it up as well. We're about to wrap it up. This is probably the longest podcast we've had so far.
Because why invite a broadcaster, dog?
I want to, since we don't have a lot of ladies come to the show.
Yeah.
No fault of ours. Ladies are always really, really busy. And like the moment we do have a lady in the studio, we always want to have them talk to younger girls because it's a very, very dangerous space.
It is.
You know, I have sisters, I have in the business, I have a younger sister as well. I'm always worried about them because of business. And what advice would you give young girls trying to get into the space, entertainment in general?
Yeah.
You've been a dancer, you've been rapping, you've been singing, and you've also been, behind the mic as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them, really? I know it's general, but...
Yeah, but I mean, go for it, one. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Because if you have the passion, the talent, Lord knows where it can take you. You know, you can go far with it as long as you're dedicated. So don't be distracted by bato. And I think one thing that really helped me is I always had a mentor, an older somebody who would tell me and guide me and help me out if I meet any obstacles, if I have people trying to hustle me or rough me up or be inappropriate. There was always an older somebody that was there to kind of not just protect but advise. Exactly, and reel you in as well. So when you have a community, so build that community, find that someone. There's always someone. Whether you're a rapper, find Scar. He'll tell you, hey, they'll want to pay you a case.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Because he got paid. Okay, no.
Exactly. No, honestly, because we had to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you have someone who's older, you kind of dodge certain things because they've done it before. So ba go gakolla gore o ska ira yana, okay, ha o ira demo I record yana, ha ile gore o batla gore o tsene ko essay dira yana, you know what I mean? So
are you available for mentoring?
I am.
How does someone hit you up? Do they jump in your DMs?
Jump in my DMs. Like, and I was saying that Fowles has mentored so many young DJs.
Blind.
So many.
Way.
And
a lot.
Like a lot of the hot DJs now have played at Kosher.
Definitely.
Have done a lot of gigs with Fowles. So I don't have that. And I'm like, do I smell? Kanka. You know what I mean? But I want to have that. I want to look at young broadcasters and say,
I work with,
I helped her out,
But you know how it works.
So
it's
call
like,
me, girls.
It's seamless. All right.
Or should I like walk into the studio? Should I
go
to Limco and find them?
No, someone will identify you.
You know what I mean?
They will identify you.
So I want to have that. Because I have the experience.
You think
maybe I'm not maybe. Like I'm not on socials like you. Yeah. You're a beast.
I'm on there.
Like, and you're funny as hell. You're so good with social. Yeah. I feel like mama ki tuta phone. Like I'm not really good with social media.
Because there's a question about social media here also.
Yeah, like I'm behind the scenes a lot with social. I'm bad with it. Like my last post on Instagram was last year, October.
I was shocked you hit me back. Because I'm like, how is she on when there's nothing happening on her thing there?
My last post on Instagram is for it. So I'm horrible. Yeah. And that's another thing about a broadcaster now. Like when we started broadcasting, we didn't have to worry about the social media.
Owen
now,
was harassing, though.
Yeah.
Owen
now if you want to be hot,
you
better be pushing the content, So I'm very bad with it, but I am online. Please call me. Like I want a mentor. Like I've worked very closely with Bukhaona and Kumo Kwadira, Miss GKs. They're my girls.
Yeah.
They're more of my peers. I really would love to mentor the younger generation.
The younger ones as well.
Yeah. I feel I have a lot to share.
I think right now, especially because now, I mean, would you, in this space, because I know you are, even though you are bad at social media, you're really tapped in to what's going on with culture and like society as a whole.
Yeah.
Would you advise not only young women, people have South African aspirations, but what would you tell them to get on a radio, start a podcast? What would you advise them to do? Do you think it's better to publish yourself these days rather than go looking for a job that's not going to pay you how much you're worth? Yeah. But then at least you are able to get the experience.
Yes.
Which one do you think they would rather go for if they also want longevity?
Yeah.
Because you've had longevity, and that's also a reason why you're able to, keep breaking glass ceilings.
Yeah.
Would you do it on your own, or would you advise them to go and look for a job?
I would say a bit of both, because if I hadn't been at Yarona, if you hadn't been at Yarona, you wouldn't be here now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah.
So it definitely, getting the job, any industry, getting a a formal something will add experience, will add value. But do it on your own. Malasinga, it's about, I mean, man, Jay-Z could see this podcast now and decide I want to put it on Tidal. You know what I mean? That's just how quick and how accessible everything is. Gatekeeping has literally crumbled away.
Thank God.
You know what I mean? And thank God, you know, because now anyone can do it. So I would say if you can get the experience, that's great. If you can't, don't sweat it. Start your thing.
Would you do a podcast?
Hell yeah.
Why aren't you trying to do one?
Hell yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what to do.
You're waiting on an offer.
How to do it.
You're waiting on an offer.
No, the thing is...
Did they say they're going to turn up the funds?
No, they don't have them, dog. Which is why I'm just like, taste the madi ko jwahane. Kore ke tswa go taste the madi. Hanke ka boela ko morago.
But
you know what I mean?
I really love that you're sticking to your guns because most of us, because this is passion versus money.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the time, I mean, even musicians, which is why people would advise you to get a manager or get a second opinion, is because music on and then about fuck it.
Let me rock. Yeah, no.
But then your manager is the same one who's gonna tell you, nigga, chill.
Like, what are you doing?
This is how we make money.
Yeah.
So I respect that you're holding out.
I am.
Until you get what you're worth.
I am. And so I'm definitely gonna just I would say to the young people, work on your own thing because the world that we're in now is so global. It's so accessible. You could literally DM Jay-Z right now and he could see it. You know, I don't know why I keep saying Jay-Z, but
because that's who is going to sign you onto Tidal.
I'm thinking about Tidal, exactly. I'm thinking about Apple Music, you know, Spotify. You know, this is where we're at, you know? And the thing is, I can't say... I mean, for broadcasters, do people listen to radio the same way that they used to?
I don't.
I
Unfortunately, and
don't. I don't. The Bluetooth is connected successfully. Hey, you know what I mean?
That's the only thing we listen to.
Exactly. So
that's crazy.
Just do your thing, get it started. It's going to be slow in the beginning. You're not going to get the views in the beginning. It can take you 3 years, my love. 3 years.
That's the one there.
Because we see McG today. Zbu shared a link from 5 years ago. You know?
I saw it when he was on the couch with this
When
guy.
he was on the couch.
And what are we going to call it? We can't.
Exactly.
And they were talking about the names that
you
they
see
got
what
from
I'm
the
saying?
beginning.
And it was from years ago. And no one knew who they were. No one cared at the time. But they were so consistent. So just start your thing. Be consistent. Do not skip an episode. Hailogoreware is dropping every week. Drop it every week.
And if you can record,
even if there's 0 views, you know what I mean? Even if no one's watched, there's always someone watching.
Always someone watching.
You're just waiting for the right person to be watching because then,
boom.
Then you're Joe Rogan. You're on Spotify getting paid.
I'd have to be white.
You know, and but I used to think these things weren't for us because we're in small old Botswana, and who's gonna see us, man?
Yeah, someone is watching.
Man, Ndukyo on Channel O.
Yeah, we made it.
I was on YFM.
Yeah,
and that's not the end. You know what I mean? That's just the beginning. Because it's about Africa now. You know, it's about the whole it's not just about South Africa anymore.
It's about the whole continent as a whole.
Yeah. So start your thing, be consistent, and just do your thing.
I want to close it off with a question from one of our younger audiences.
Oh my gosh.
Because Millie labeled these questions as masterclass. Just like the ones that we just talked about. Oh my God, you're in love with Millie.
I am.
Millie,
Can
she
I
better
meet
not
her?
steal you from
Millie,
us when she gets
call me, girl.
the right offer. And it's about women and balancing being a young wife and having a family while pursuing passions and being successful at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to speak on to that.
Yeah.
Just to wrap it up. I'm sure it's not easy. No. But how can women?
I mean, I dragged my baby here. She's here.
I greeted Faust downstairs.
She's downstairs.
I was coming up to say,
you know what I mean?
And
the thing is, I was thinking, hey, should I cancel because Wana?
He's complaining about the Wi-Fi downstairs.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Move closer to the building.
And I'm just like, hey, so these are the things you have to do as a mom. You have to carry your baby with you for an interview. You know, mama. So it's not always easy. But when you have a spouse that can stay with the baby,
my goodness,
or mama, or granny, is supportive. Like I mentioned earlier, hey, it's so cliche, but it's true. Yeah. It takes a village.
Yeah.
It takes a village. Yeah. Especially when you're married and you have 2 kids, and now I'm trying to push a passion as well. Yeah. I have my own life that I want to live as well. It helps that I have my support system, you know? And if you don't have that, you can find one in your friends. Yeah. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine last week, and she said another friend who has a 3-month-old baby had an interview in Joburg, and there's no one okasalang lengwan, you know? And she asked her friend, this friend of ours, she was like, girl, do
you know how many friends will take on a 3-month-old also?
How many do we have that'll do that?
I'm probably one of them.
That's a fresh baby. That's fresh out the womb.
Baby, you gotta
fresh,
do the whole thing.
Fresh. You
gotta burp her.
You know what I mean? Change the diaper. Yeah.
And that's a lot of trust. That's gotta be someone you really trust.
She took the baby.
Oh my word, mommy.
So you as a person need to surround yourself with people by lengore. Why you see that house na petrol o khona mo letsa hore tlhera ke kopa 100 pula gore yeah 100 pula okay kopa 50 pula gore ke tshele petrol. A lot of us have really superficial connections. Find some real ones. Find real people, because sometimes you know you don't have anyone like so you know ha gona ope o mo ga borone city lights. You know, and don't just surround yourself with friends by okay, groovy guy, party guy. You need those friends, because I need a good time, but I also need friends that are supportive and can watch out for certain things and watch the kids while I come in and do the PODI-CAST. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think for women it's much harder to be able to discern who are your friends and who are not, because from my experience with ladies, you'll be laughing, but the minute you turn the corner, it's like that big.
Right?
But so I'm always wondering how we be able to like discern. So I think that comes with experience. I'm sure you don't pick them the same way.
Yeah. And time will tell. Time will tell. I mean, as time goes on, they just naturally fall away.
Fall off, yeah.
And khosala the real ones.
Wow, mami.
So, yeah.
I think, how can... Oh, Lord. All right. For those that are on radio.
Yeah.
I think this is for her.
Is she on radio?
Well, she used to.
I'm about to find Millie.
For those who are on radio, how can they best progress? I think this is our last question. How best can they progress, especially if they are in a less desired slot? How can they make the most of that slot and use it for that benefit? And I think you're the perfect person to answer this, because you've had some crazy ones. I saw one 3 to 5.
Yes, I was at YFM.
3 to 5 on weekdays.
Yeah, I was.
How, when you've been given the slot and you hate it, you know, how then do you make, you know, lemonade out of
the most of it,
you know?
right? One thing I love is the age that we're in. We're in social media now, right? And I'm not using it like I should. But I've seen so many people that have progressed simply because of popularity. Right?
There's a lot of
them. Yeah, there is. There is. It's the new goal. And it can be unfortunate because
you have
a lot
to keep
of
feeding the monster.
You see what I'm saying?
And when you run out of shit, well, wind up our Botswana. That's it. What's left? The only thing left is for you to have your ass on the screen.
But what I will say, you want to move, you want to progress in your radio career, be active. Don't just come into your slot, do your 3 hours, you have to be social. You have to let people see your face. They want to know who you are. They're curious about who you are. You know what I mean? So give, like Lebonza says, give the people what they want.
Play the game.
Play the game.
Lebonza
You know,
is cool,
it helps you progress like faster. It helps you move faster when you have just a recognizable person. Yeah. So if you want to move from graveyard, Millie, make sure, and it's not even just about posting. Go to the gigs. Go to
experience the people.
Go to events. Let them see. Oh, so kwena simang mangor kanang remoretsa mo, you know, baska kore ba go bone. You know what I mean? You and unfortunately in this industry that we're in, you have to be a bit of a social butterfly. It can be very awkward when you're like me, you're not much of a social person, but you love being on radio. So now you have to force yourself to like
see people,
because it helps. Because I like that Petula girl. Where is she? Yeah, exactly.
Put a name to a face to a name, and actually
exactly,
and be relatable. I think that's also what's really important. You're not up there, and the people are not down here.
Yeah.
You're actually. I like calling it like a community narrator.
Yeah.
It's like you're like a Morgan Freeman in everyone's story, but the reason is like you know the stories because you can relate to them and you know the characters within the story itself. I'm gonna wrap it up. This, like I said,
I hate that word. Like what?
Record time.
Is it over already?
I think we're on 2 hours.
What?
Yeah, a young 2 hours.
Wow.
We missed you.
Wow.
And, I mean, at first it was like, why am I bringing like flutes and whatever? Why are we celebrating? You know, the ministry, immigration did you dirty like that. But like, I'm just happy to see my sister back.
I'm happy to be back. I won't lie.
And you're happy. Your energy is well aligned.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just waiting for the right offer. Like you know, just the right offer. Like I'm gonna hold out.
Yeah.
For the right one.
For the right. Who knows? It might come from us. You know. So
this is what I'm saying. Like, are y'all looking for a podcast?
You never know. It might come from us. So because right now, you know, we are our own authorities these days. It's like no one needs to direct you where you need to be at. So we really, really appreciate you and we're happy you're here. This is why we say we're celebrating. Sparkling water. Shout out.
Non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Petula. Absolutely love you,
Thank
mommy.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the flip side.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody for checking out the PODI-CAST. Yo, as usual, it's been another beautiful one. Shout out Bartender. Shout out Renevieve. She does amazing work for us. Look at how beautiful my sister looks here, man. And local corner, Stay Well Hotels. I'm SCAR. Peace.
People of different identities.